Gold prices hitting another high yesterday and trading up once again this morning. You're now looking at gold at $3,730 an ounce. It's all coming as we were looking at a softer dollar and interest rates in focus ahead of the Fed meeting that starts today. Joining us right now is Ryan McIntyre, Sprott Senior Managing Partner. And Ryan, we're looking at gold prices up by more than 40% for the year to date. There are so many reasons that have been listed for these gains, but I don't want to lead the witness. Why do you think gold has been rallying like this?
Oh, well, good morning. Gold has been rallying for the last several years, I think, for starting on the back of central bank buying, which is about double the rate that the historical buying has been. And so to me, that was one of the sort of the leading indicators in terms of gold moving up. And it's really only been until kind of mid last year where you started to see institutions and retail investors get involved in the space. And so I think most recently, you're now talking about, Fed cuts and that type of thing. So there's a few different segments that led to gold price to where we are today.
Do you think it's related to concerns about inflation, concerns about geopolitics?
I think it's just general uncertainty in all categories, whether it's geopolitical uncertainty or economic uncertainty. And I think probably one of the big differences today is that it's at a much higher level of uncertainty, so much more on the sovereign level as much as it is on the corporate level, if not more. And that's definitely a change from the recent past.
How does Bitcoin challenge gold? Bitcoin, and I should say other currencies too, other cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, well, in terms of, store of wealth, I mean, gold has traditionally been the king, so to speak. But you have also seen the emergence of Bitcoin in people's minds, in addition to maybe the Swiss franc and some other currencies and so forth. But I think, the differentiating factor between, Bitcoin and gold is I think, gold's got the history of being a great store of wealth over time, real proven in nature. And you also have the fact that it's a real asset, which I think, in today's environment, what people are looking for is something that's independent of other asset classes, but also independent of institutions. And gold is one of these things that's physical and real, and no one can just confiscate it from you.
How do you think the Fed's decision tomorrow could impact gold prices from here, and what are you expecting for the remainder of the year?
Yeah, so I think like most people, we're expecting a 25 basis point cut tomorrow. I think that'll be well received by the gold price. And, going forward, the market's sort of implying about 50 basis points of cuts for the remainder of the year. And I guess, from our point of view, these are very short-term nature in terms of thinking for gold. But to us, all neutral or positive here on out, whether it's 25 or 50 basis points, to us, it really doesn't matter. What matters the most to us is, I would say, the direction of where the Fed is going, post-Powell even. You've seen Stephen Miran been appointed to the board yesterday. And, his mandate really is focused on, depreciating the dollar, much like Trump, not surprisingly. And so I think as long as we're directionally going in that way, gold should do very well.